because I know it's easy to erase, but it of course is Pride Month. It of course is Pride Month. Is it that way? I never remember if the camera reverses things or anything like that. But as for Trigger Word Tuesday for Pride Month, I thought that the first of the month should be Pride words, and then I had too many words in the last week of May. So the trigger words for Pride Month were slightly delayed, but that is okay. They're here now. I was going to take suggestions, and there have been a couple of comments that I have had to get rid of because of some fairly offside things said about the queer community. So I thought, just to protect my peace for this week, I would come up with a list on my own, but we are still doing the affirmations rather than for my birthday. Back in 2024 was when my last birthday was. It wasn't this year. But she called me her little rainbow baby. And I truthfully don't deserve that woman. She's amazing. Rainbow baby, but you are all my little rainbow babies. You're a little rainbow baby. Rainbow, 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 rainbow. I might crank that up just a little bit more. Rainbow, now that the sun is going down. Rainbow, 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 rainbow. All right, next word is flag, 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 flag. Can you follow my trans flag over this way? Can you follow my trans flag over this way? Flag, flag, flag. Now what about back here? Flag, 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 flag. Make sure if you're getting your flags, try to get them from queer-owned businesses or organizations as well. Keep the money in the community. Do not order your queer flags off of Amazon. Any country or any company, sorry, that is rolling back DEI policies was never allied to our community in the first place. Keep that in mind. Flag, 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 flag. Now, I want to expand my collection of queer flags, but this, of course, is my trans flag. My trans flag. My trans flag. And then this is my progress flag. Of course, I've got tons of these. I ordered a pack of them, and I think I probably have about like 8 to 10 or something like that, which of course has the trans colors, black and brown, for the contributions of the black and brown members of the community who are basically responsible for our rights as they exist today and our culture as it exists today, honestly. And then all the colors of the rainbow is just, it's god tier. Like the sunset colors, the pink, the orange, it's amazing. The ace flag I really like because purple is my favorite color, obviously. I love the combo of purple and gray. And then, like I said, the ace arrow flag is really nice. I always like the colors of the non-binary flag. They're not necessarily my vibe, but I like them. The pansexual flag is really nice as well. I think that the lesbian flag has to be my favorite, behind, of course, the progress flag. And then comes a chevron at the sort of where it sort of hangs on the flagpole like that, with white, pink, light blue, brown, and black on the trans flag, which was designed in 1999 by activist and veteran of the United States military. Just saying, trans activist Monica Helm individuals, not just queer individuals. Let that be clear. Riots are sometimes necessary to protest injustice. Keep that fresh in mind, especially Americans, but Canadians don't get complacent. A major party candidate who doesn't have a seat right now, by the way. Sorry, Pierre. Not sorry. And then had to run here to Alberta, where, like, he's gonna try to run in the safest fucking seat possible, like, typical. But anyway, doesn't remember Canadians, we were not so far away from anti-queer rhetoric living and working as our Prime Minister, so don't get on any high horses, alright? Next word is liberation. We're gonna finish things up here with my little pride glass, my little pride glass, my little pride glass in the background, So, liberation, 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 liberation. Let it be understood that liberation is not just rights. Liberation is the removal of oppression. Liberation is the removal of societal norms. And I'm not talking about it in the way that, like, oh, the queers want to destroy the traditional family, whatever. No, I am talking about a liberation from stereotypes. I'm talking about liberation from societal prejudice. I am talking about liberation from the framework of binary gender. I'm talking about the liberation from the oppression of the sexes, from the separation of the sexes. Let it also be known that queer liberation also comes with women's liberation. Trans women are women. Just keep that in mind for any of you who think that feminism, for some reason, is about oppressing trans women. You're not a feminist, you're just a bigot. Let it also be known that liberation means liberation from segregation, both legal segregation and segregation that manifests in housing, in income, in hiring, and in all facets of life. Queer liberation does not come without black liberation, or indigenous liberation, or returning land to those who were here first. Liberation is for all from oppression. And even if we're talking about, say, liberation from patriarchy, exist without Vogue. It would not exist without ballroom queens. Ballrooms, 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 ballrooms are truly the crucible where our culture was formed. Ballrooms, ballroom, 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 on top of it just being like actually fantastic music and amazing dancing. Honestly, we would not have the modern drag scene without ballroom. We would not have something like RuPaul's Drag Race without ballroom. Like, I do not understand how ballroom does not get more representation, and ballrooms do not get more shoutouts on Drag Race. It's wild to me. Next up, we have the word Stonewall. Stonewall, 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 where it all began in New York. Stonewall, 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 Stonewall was a queer gathering space that was frequented by the New York Police Department. And what the police would do, and this is why police are not welcome at Pride, is because historically they have been the oppressors of our community. It might be less so now, but it's impossible to have police at Pride because they were the original enemies of Pride. So